Hello everybody, I'm here to make a small video on Feebas Mass Outbreaks because I've been looking online, I've done up to 200 resets and I have not been able to find a single Feebas Mass Outbreak using anybody else's method that I've found because, well, I don't know why, honestly. I don't know if it's my luck or if it's the method they're suggesting, but I've had no luck, so I had to basically take it into my own hands, look for my own method, do some testing, and I found a spot that I think it's going to consistently give you Feebas Mass Outbreaks. And in this method you don't need to use a water encounter sandwich for the increased chance for a Feebas Mass Outbreak to spawn. In my experience I found that made it so that I couldn't find a Feebas Mass Outbreak almost at all. I didn't find any Feebas Mass Outbreaks until I stopped using the sandwiches. So let's begin. Obviously we're going to fly to Crystal Pool. This is where the Feebas spawn. They basically spawn at the bottom of the crystal pool in the Oni Mountain cave. You enter from the top side at Crystal Pool and you make your way down the cave system until you find two pools of water. So if you don't know where the Feebas spawn, basically you can come to the southern side of Crystal Pool and there's going to be a cave entrance opening on the rock face here on the southern side. You can basically jump down all the way and then jump again to go down to this next section. Here you have two pools of water. The Feebas spawn in all sections of the water, so really it doesn't matter where you stand. But if you come into this corner, you usually get a Feebas. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, Feebas clearly spawns here because it's appearing on the map like you would expect the Pokemon in the area to do so. So let's fly back to the Crystal Pool. As you can see, there's a Feebas on my screen. Perfect. So we're back at the Crystal Pool. Let's head to the spot in which we're going to use to look for the Mass Outbreak. Well, there's a small corner here on the west side of the cave entrance we just showed you, that we just explored. So here on the southern side you can press your map, hopefully you'll get a Feebas here. As you can see, we can actually tell that the Feebas do spawn down in that pool from all the way up here. We're still getting the encounter chance, or basically it's very likely in my experience that we're now going to get a mass outbreak in this area because these Pokemon displayed here are usually an increased chance to spawn a mass outbreak. So I don't know if it's totally necessary to have these Pokemon appear, or to have the Feebas appear I should say, before you begin resetting the time. I'm going to go ahead and say it does help. I haven't tested enough to say it does or does not affect it. Every time I've had the Feebas Mass Outbreak, I've had this Feebas here. So just to keep it consistent, I would recommend doing it. You may end up doing this and you don't need to use that method. Please let me know if you find it and you did not have the Feebas appear here. If you come here, you open your map and the Feebas hasn't appeared, what I suggest doing is teleporting to Infernal Pass, teleporting back to the Crystal Pool, coming to this spot again, looking for the Feebas. If it's there, you can begin resetting your time. If not, go again until you get the Feebas. So if you press the home button on your controller, you can come to the switch home screen, come to your system settings in the bottom right, scroll all the way down to system, and again then down to date and time. You want to unsynchronize your clock so it's not matching up with your local time, so that you can manually change the time. So date and time, here we are. We don't actually need to change anything here, just press A until you come to OK. Press A again, it'll put you out of that menu. Go back to your game, it will reset your mass outbreaks as you can see. So guys, I don't know if it's true, but look at that, the Swinub has just spawned a mass outbreak in this area, and it's quite unlikely, I don't know. Obviously not what we need, but that kind of further proves my point that the Pokemon in this area are more likely to spawn. So let's keep resetting until we find the Feebas. So as you can see, we got the Feebas Mass Outbreak. I don't know how many resets that actually was, but no more than 50. And eventually we got the Feebas. I did take a little break to eat some food. I can't lie. But it didn't take very long at all in total to get the Feebas Mass Outbreak. So now that we have it, we basically can begin defeating enough of them to give us the best shiny odds that we can get. So we'll go down to the Mass Outbreak and we will begin KOing some Pokemon. So we have already KO'd about 5 Feebas, but we want to KO about between 60 and 70, or at least until we have 3 messages telling us that the Mass Outbreak has gotten lower. So let's just begin KOing some of these. What's going on here? Why? Having a little bit of issues. Here we go. They may spawn underwater sometimes. You can choose to KO them ones, but they should eventually come to the surface. Plenty of Feebas in here, as you can see. So around 24, 25 KOs we should get the message saying that the Mass Outbreak is getting lower. There's going to be Pokemon that are able to spawn in this cave, but if you go to the far side of this cave and touch the wall there, it will despawn those ones, and the same goes for if you've got any Barboach or other Pokemon in that cave that you don't want there. You can go to this far wall, touch this wall here, that will despawn everything there. As you can see, lots of stuff has started spawning here. So now when I go over to that side, quickly it will despawn everything over there. And now when I come back to this spot, it can only be Feebas that are able to spawn. So if we wait, we should see some more. Maybe you can swim up and down this lane a little bit. As it's battling. Oh, there's the message in the top right there. You can see the number of Feebas is starting to deplete, so that is a good sign. We've got the first of 3 messages that we're looking for. Okay, we've got enough now. So roughly between 70 and 80 I've had to KO before I got the 3rd message in the top right of the screen there. We can go back to the surface of the cave now and make a shiny sandwich. So if you just teleport to the crystal pool, in fact you may want to save first so that any more Feebas that you accidentally KO, it's not going to end your Mass Outbreak. So now is a good time to save. So now what you want to do is you want to come to this cave entrance, as we've discovered, as we've found out, but come to the Carbink spawning area here before you go into the area with the Feebas, because here you can craft sandwiches. This is also a good spot for carbon resets if you've got the opportunity for a mass outbreak with those. So we've got a basic recipe in mind, which I use for any of most of the shiny mass outbreaks that I do, or the shiny hunts using mass outbreaks that I do. I usually use this recipe. It's pretty basic. It just changes the ingredient that changes the type, so it always keeps tomato, onion, green pepper, and hamburger, and you just change cucumber to be whatever type you need. So in our case we need water, we use cucumber. You can use any two Herba Mystica. She's too spicy for now. It's very bright on this screen as well, so bear with it. It may blind you a little bit. So once you've got the sandwich made, you can make your way back down to the Feebas spawning location where the mass outbreak's taking place. Okay, here we go. Jump down, despawn anything that's in that back cave by standing here on the mud. Touch the wall. Everything through there should despawn. Come through here, and we'll do the same on this side. Basically just reset our spawns, and hopefully we'll get a Feebas in no time. Okay, finally, there's one there in the back. Okay, let's make sure we got the right Pokemon in the right place, save the game, so if we accidentally kill it, we don't fail the shiny, we can come back to it. Yeah. Setting it to sleep real quick. Purple fish. Still asleep. You're mine, Feebas. After that painstaking hunt, not so many Feebas spawn each round, but you get there eventually. We're gonna put it in a heal ball. I think it goes nicely. Cool. So as you can see, we got the shiny Feebas finally. If you want the shiny Milotic, you will need to do a little bit of trading. Have Feebas hold a prism scale, which you can get from completing the Kitakami Pokédex. Thank you for watching. I do hope this has helped you as well.